Hi guys, welcome back to the vlog. I've been having so much fun doing more vlogs lately for you guys. It also keeps me really on track and motivated to my goals. So I have you guys to thank for keeping me on track. One of the things that keeps me most on track is coffee and a breakfast first thing in the morning. I'm on this bagel kick and I just can't get off it. I've also been enjoying the Keurig a lot more lately. I'm used to the Nespresso, but I really like the Nespresso in the summer because I can make some really cool iced drinks, but we had some Keurig pods that I figured we could use. And it's kind of nice to change things up once in a while, especially since we had them just lying around anyways, not being used. Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Jasmine McDonald. If you're new here, I post ballet and fitness related videos every single Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Today is Tuesday, November the 1st, and I have a class at 10 a.m. until 11, and then a class from 1 until 1:30, and then 2 until 3, and then I'm at the studio from 4:30 until 7. The outfit I'm wearing today, I know it's past Halloween, but I'm obsessed with this shirt and I just wanted to get another day's wear of it. I'm probably gonna change for my corporate class later and my stretching class because I don't like wearing a leotard while I'm stretching because I find it just hikes up and it doesn't stay the same. It's fine if I'm dancing and I sweat a little bit. I know that's kind of gross, but it like stays better. And I feel like it moves better with movement from ballet when I'm always turned out. But if I'm doing things like this, I don't want to have to keep adjusting it while I'm teaching like stretching classes. Plus I'm sitting and then I'm standing and then I'm watching. I'm crouching like this a lot of the time. So that being said, since it's Tuesday, I have a little bit less of a busy day. I'm gonna get some chores done if I can, and the internet's really terrible today. Me and Steve are like, what is with the internet? So yeah, I'm gonna try to do this class and hopefully it's okay. So I was supposed to teach some online classes, but the internet has been terrible at home. So I decided to come to the dance studio and teach because the internet's always stellar. And then I figured since I'm already here, I may as well do a ballet class at the bar behind me, but I only have a half hour between my two classes, and then from 3 o'clock until 4:30, I have a break before all the kids start to come in, but they usually come in around 4 sometimes. So I just want to make sure I'm done dancing by then, so I'm not all sweaty and gross and in a leotard and tights and disgusting when they come in and sweaty and gross. So I'm gonna do my ballet class right after this client. I'm just gonna film some TikToks right now. Yeah, the internet was awful this morning. So I was like, Steve, we can't both be here working from home on the internet, so I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna peace. Plus I really want to do ballet class, so it worked out for the better. Once I finished with my last client, I put on my pointe shoes and took out the bar. It's been a really long time since I've been in the studio and did a full-out ballet class. Lately, I've just been using the studio to practice jumps and turns, but I felt like doing an entire ballet class. So here's me at the bar getting ready. And it's interesting because a year ago, I made that video that was pretty popular, me coming back after 2 years of not dancing at all. And I feel like I'm in some ways regressed a little bit since then, and I've also progressed so much more since then. In the ways which I've regressed, meaning gone backwards, is definitely the attention to detail. When I first came back to ballet last year after 2 years being off full time, I was taking so much attention to detail because I was so afraid of getting injured again. I really wanted to make sure that I was doing all the steps properly and making sure the trajectory of my ankle, my knees, my hips was aligned and proper. And I'm not saying that I'm lacking that now because I am a dance teacher, so I have a good eye for that. But I am saying that I'm definitely less careful. But I think that's also a good thing because there's such thing as being too careful where you're not really dancing, right? I would be so afraid of doing the wrong alignment, even my upper body. So I didn't feel like I was being as expressive. But now that I've let go a little bit more because I have the strength in my body, I have the muscle memory, I know and I trust that my body will be fine when I go up onto pointe. I don't have to freak out as much and hold everything together as much just because of the muscle memory. So this isn't me saying don't pay attention to the finer things because that's very important, especially as a student. But since I've been dancing very consistently for the last year, I just feel like I don't have to focus on that as much. Now, where I mean I've regressed in that is because I don't focus on that as much. Things happen like when I jump, I landed on my pointe shoe. You can see later on in this footage, and it really hurt my ankle. And that's not because I wasn't doing it properly. That's just because I wasn't really paying attention. So learn from my mistakes. Pay attention, be aware of your surroundings. Otherwise, you could hurt yourself. Now, I've found the benefit of not dancing as careful with little bunny ears, because you're always supposed to dance careful and make sure that you're doing everything technically correct. You know, you're not lifting your hip like I just did. You're not turning out your foot more than your knee. But what I mean by the benefit of not being as careful is that I'm just not as stiff when I'm dancing. A year ago, I was so stiff. I was afraid to lift my leg higher. Now I have a little bit more freedom because the muscles surrounding the joint and that has to stretch is stronger. It's more stable. I can play around with lifting my leg higher. I can play around with doing more than one pirouette. You know what I mean? And same thing with jumps. That was the biggest thing getting back. Doing jumps has been really difficult after not dancing for some time. So if anybody was to ask me what was the most difficult part about coming back to dancing, jumps. In one word, jumps. And like everything, you know, progressing in something really requires training, good training. It requires your muscle memory, which means you have to practice. So good things come with time, with patience, and with practice. And a year ago, I would not have been able to do that move where I lifted my leg, held it, and then moved it in front. Like my leg would have cramped up. I wouldn't have been able to hold my back. I would have let it go and then either hurt myself or drop the leg, and it would have looked really ugly. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that if you are where I was now, where I was last year, be patient, because it just takes consistency and practice like anything. I mean, even in a sense of social media, I've been posting regularly for a year, and then all of a sudden on my Instagram, I blew up, and now we're almost at 100K. So if you're not following me on Instagram, go check me out. It's Jassome. I post there every single day, and I do Q&As almost every single week and answer the questions, and I'm pretty good about answering my DMs too, so definitely check out my Instagram. Another thing that I really love about alone studio time is the ability to stay on one thing for a little while and not worry about holding the class up by asking a bajillion questions. You know, you are leading your own class rather. And for me, I took a lot of time in pirouettes today just because at first I wasn't feeling on my leg. And then when I actually coordinated my arms and my legs together, oh my gosh, can you guess it? Magic happened, and I actually successfully landed my pirouettes. Like, look at this one. Blah, did not land it. Also this one. Blah, did not really land it. Then I took a break for a second, and when I went back to it, I just breathed in, breathed out, and brought everything together with coordination, speed, agility, and trusted my muscle memory and let go a little bit, especially in my upper body, because I can get so stiff. Again, if I was to look at this from last year, I'm pretty happy with where I am now. No, I'm not able to do fouettes on pointe or crazy things like I was when I was a full-time student or even a professional ballet dancer, but I'm getting there, guys. I'm getting there, and that's what's important. This is where I hurt my foot. I jumped literally on my toe and I jammed my ankle, so yeah. Always be aware of your surroundings, guys. I have many instances kicked something. I actually broke one of my presents that Steven gave me, and it was really, really upsetting. It was actually a present he gave me for Valentine's Day, and it was a rose encased in a glass frame, and it breaks my heart, and I want to cry every time I think about it because I'm so clumsy, and I can't believe I broke something as sacred and as beautiful and as heartfelt as that. So I'm so sorry, Steve, if you're watching and listening to this. From the bottom of my heart, I'm sorry again. Comment down below if you think that I should make Steve one or he should make me a new one. Anyways, the next morning we woke up and it was so foggy, and I wasn't done with Halloween yet, so I used my Halloween mug for my coffee because I love Nightmare Before Christmas, and then I made the bed and got ready to teach. Morning, guys. It is Wednesday, November 2nd. I just did my makeup and I'm wearing a Leo underneath this shirt, and also I'm wearing my skirt from Aerie. I just had breakfast and I'm going to teach a class in 10 minutes, and then I have another private client at 11 until 12, and then I'm teaching from 3:15 until 4:45. It's a really long private, so I'm going to make sure I get all my household chores done before then, or try to. I just got some mail again from the government, and that's always fun to do, and you know, adulting sucks. And then I have a class at 6:30 to 7:30 with Flex Space. I'm teaching a bar fit class. I'm just gonna go set up to teach. Also, I put so much mascara on. And also this little thing, I don't know what it was, but I scratched it and now it's just bleeding, which isn't cute. But yeah, see you guys soon.
and start.
Hi guys, it is Wednesday, November the 2nd, and I asked you guys on my Instagram to ask me anything, and I'll just be answering this in this little Q&A portion of today's video. Last night I got home from the studio pretty late and I just kind of chilled, and I've been binging Love is Blind over my lunch, and I took an hour, 20 minutes on my lunch instead of an hour like I usually dedicate to myself. But Love is Blind season 3 is getting wild. But without further ado, let's get into the Q&A portion of today's video. At what age did you start ballet? Like I mentioned before, I started dancing when I was about 4 years old, and then I started professionally at ballet school when I was 14. What's your favorite role that you've gotten? Probably between the Four Swans and Little Red Riding Hood. I really liked Little Red Riding Hood. It had a lot more character than I was used to as a corps de ballet dancer. As a corps de ballet dancer, you don't get to work with an individual character as often, so I really liked that aspect of the Little Red Riding Hood and Sleeping Beauty. I'll put a picture somewhere here. How old were you when you started ballet? Just answered that. So excellent work. Do your feet ever hurt? Mine do, just seeing you on them toes. Absolutely, my feet hurt. Right now I've been resting my ankle because I definitely did something wrong on my ankle the other day in the studio. So I'm not dancing today, I'm just teaching, hence the hair down. Go have a bubble bath and relax too after I'm done teaching tonight. I need help. I just can do one turn. How can I do more than just one? So I find a lot of the time where I get held back from doing more than one turn is in my upper body. I always try to think that my upper body and my lower body work in synchronization with one another. So rather than just focusing on the leg work, focusing on the footwork, try to focus on the upper body too. Use a little bit more momentum in your plie, but also use a little bit more force in your arms. That'll help you get everything together faster, and don't forget to spot. Foot care tips. Oof, you asked the wrong person, girl. I'd say cold, compressed cold baths, hot baths, I don't know, salt baths. That's pretty much the extent of knowledge I have to foot care. How many days a week do you practice ballet? So I tend to practice 6 days a week, especially vlogging. It's kind of made me a little bit more motivated to dance every single day, because I'm like, well, I'm vlogging, I have to dance, because the vlog wouldn't be interesting if I didn't dance. I would just be doing house chores and hanging out with my pets, although that's very interesting too. So probably 6 days a week, and sometimes on the weekends. So 5 days a week, maybe. I usually take one day off on the weekend. How long do you dance, and do you practice every day? I pretty much practice every day, and it varies between half an hour to an hour. I don't practice more than that. When I was a professional, I used to practice up to 8 hours a day, every single day, 6 days a week. All these questions are when I started ballet. Bar or center? So younger me definitely would have said center, but now I love bar, really refining my technique, also refining my artistry at bar, but having that extra help. Although I do like some things in center. I really love adagio in center. It's a challenge for me because I'm not the best on my supporting leg, like balancing. So I like adagio. I don't care for tendu so much in the center. I feel like they're kind of boring. I love across the floor. So I kind of like both. I can't decide. Flat or pointe? Definitely pointe. Absolutely, 100% pointe. What's your favorite school? I've only ever been to San Francisco Ballet School and Canada's National Ballet School. I have to say Canada's National Ballet School because I went there for 6 years. Do you know Statsch Ballet Berlin? I do. I absolutely do. Some of my friends went on exchange to there. How to choose pointe shoes. So when you go to a shoe fitting, they will help you and they'll ask you, do these feel good? Do they hurt? Do you feel the end of your toe at the box? They're gonna know everything. They're gonna size your shoe. They're gonna size your foot to your shoe. They're going to give you toe pads to alleviate the pain. They're going to look at your foot and be like, you have a high instep, so we need a really supportive shank. So they're gonna know everything. By all means, go get a shoe fitting. Do not just buy some on AliExpress or even online. Like, go for a shoe fitting, especially if you're new to pointe. When did you start being a ballerina? So I got my first contract and my first job when I was 18 years old, and I'm 26 now. What are some exercises to improve extensions? Also, I feel like my makeup's very messed up. What are some exercises to improve extensions? So I do have an entire playlist dedicated to technique tips, but the gist of the extension video was strengthening your hip flexors, your iliopsoas, which is near your core and runs along the inside of your leg, your glutes especially, and your external rotators that are really deep within the hip. So I will put a link to that video here. How did you realize that you wanted to be a dancer? I think I just always knew. Even when I picked different careers during career day at school, I just knew like I had to dance. I love dance more than anything. When I was in school, like other kids were getting into like dating and boys and parties, and I was just like, all I want to do is go to dance. When I was in middle school, that's all I wanted to do. I loved my dance family and my dance friends, and I thought, hey, wouldn't this be amazing if I could do this the rest of my life? So I think I always knew. I'm 17. I used to swim and do taekwondo. Is it possible to start ballet and become professional in it? At 17, I'm not gonna lie, that's gonna be pretty difficult just because a lot of people are entering the professional field at 17 and 18. I won't say it's impossible. I will not rule it out. Won't say anything's impossible. However, it'd be very difficult to do it professionally. But for fun, go for it. Absolutely go for it. I've only had the Q&A post up on my Instagram for an hour. So if you're not following me on Instagram, it is JASSOME. On that note, I'm gonna go shower because I just saw in the viewfinder how greasy my hair is. I'm trying to I'm trying to wash my hair twice a week versus every other day, just so it gets a break and I don't use as much shampoo and conditioner. So I'm gonna go do that because I have a class in an hour. You wanna go on a walk?
Baby, I've been going nowhere lately. It's time to start all over and go for it. 'Cause they don't even know me yet. But that's something I don't regret. Every night I close my eyes and see only lavender dreams, baby.